How does Magnus Carlsen adopt someone in chess? Can you really beat a grandmaster 10-0? Well, we're going to find out. Stick around until the end to see if Carlsen managed to beat Andrew Tang, also known as Penguin, 10-0. Here is the video format. Firstly, we're going to see a live recording of the bullet game. Then I will summarize it. This will continue throughout the video until we get to the final game. Did Magnus Carlsen manage to beat Andrew Tang 10-0? If it's your first time here, hello, my name is William. Let's begin. Let's see if Magnus Carlsen did it. Timestamps are below for you to move around the video. Oh man. Knight c3, we have this early exchange. Bishop g5 is there. You can give him double pawns, but it's fine. These two pawns are actually very well placed. You just got the center. Rook g8 with g5, g4, get counterplay, h5, h3. I think this is a nice line for black. Knight c4, knight g6, knight f4, ways to play. But maybe black can go rook d2, rook d1. That's possible. Okay. You defend and then you can take. That pawn exists though. Whoa, h4, using the tactic here. And then put a rook behind. Whoa. Now Magnus has totally turned this around. Knight can just park itself on g4. Then it defends. Now he's going to get back up. Knight h3 is there. Knight d3 went the other way. Knight h3 felt like it trapped the rook. Maybe I'm wrong. And he resigned. He trapped the bishop. Game 1. e4. d6. d4, knight f6, knight c3, e5. The queens came off really early. And after knight f3, bishop d6. Defending your center in this way. Bishop c4, bishop e6. Double pawns don't actually matter too much because these two pawns, they control a lot of central squares. So I would take black here. Or white, it doesn't really matter. It's just a level position. And after this, a bit of rerouting. So pawn chain here, king in the middle, rooks to the middle. Now fixing this structure, and it looks like black is getting some play. So one way for Tang to have continued, maybe put the rook here. Maybe double up. Because on the f file, he can put pressure on that pawn later. Knight f8, knight c4, knight h7. This was the blunder from Andrew because it allowed this capture. Now once this capture happened, well, black brought his knight back to get that pawn. But Magnus now targeted that g5 pawn. Knight h7, you defend it, but now he just pushes, and after rook g6, you can use this pin on the g file, and that's exactly what Magnus does. h4. And with this transformation, he's going to be a pawn up. Rook g8, take, 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 and rook h1. Defend that pawn. You block with knight h7, but after knight e3, Magnus is just taking over. Knight g4, perfect knight. Defending your asset. Reroute the knight. Now the knights defend each other. Knight d3, perfect couple of knights attacking the central pawn. b4, getting space. This is an absolutely perfect position for white. He's totally winning. c4, threatening c5, and one way for black to continue. Give yourself a bit of space, so then the bishop could actually retreat if you push. But in this bullet game, he blundered with king e7, c5 trapping the bishop, game over. Okay, cool. Let's go again. This same opening, knight h3, knight f2, crazy. Castle, e4, you might go d4 and then just h5, h4. You just get on with it. f5 is possible, lock it up. I would seriously consider that, or else the chances are there. h3 is possible because h4, g4. Just a way to react. a3, b4. Now, maybe c3, b4. No, not c3. But then take. Is that pawn hanging? Oh my gosh, there's a knight there, so nope. Knight c1, you defend that pawn. h4, g4, you might sack it because you don't really want the h pawn there. Bishop h5 in the future. Rook g8 gets the file. Now, you might go knight g4, bishop g4. Oh, it's an ugly opening. 10-3 to Carlsen. He gets him off. Knight d6. Where's that knight going? Maybe knight b5. So a4, he might play it to stop. Knight e2, knight b5. Nah, knight's not going anywhere. Difficult position for both players. Bishop a5 offering a trade. Take, take. Knight g3. Rook can go back. And maybe knight b5. Knight b7. Where's that knight going? Maybe knight c5. Knight a5. Couple of knights just dancing. He's changing it round. Maybe rook d8. Putting pressure here. Queen in. Now that square might be for him. Knight c5, knight d5, c6, kick it away. Knight b4. Guards it, so he gets a king. Now knight d4 as well. Kick the knight away. I see it now. There's so much pressure here. You line it up this way. You line up this way as well. And knight e4 is there. He goes knight d3. Knight f2 is there and resigned. e4. 3-2-3-3 rating. Center game, just like last time. We might have the same moves as before. Bishop d2, castle, queen f4, f3, g4. And played. Cool. I'm learning from Magnus. That's pretty nice. This center game. Shove your queen to f4. Maybe the queen can sit on h4. Okay, I don't know why queen h4 wasn't played, but okay. Queen sits on h3. That's amazing because this. Now he goes d6. Queen somewhere. h4. Oh, where to put it, man. f5, you attack it. Knight f3 next, maybe. Bishop e2, if possible. Maybe he's thinking knight h5. Now, if he's not moving the knight immediately. Okay. So knight f3, and if you take with the g-pawn. You just open it up. Bishop g5, knight d5. So c6 is needed. Bishop e2. Queen h4, put the pressure this way. And g4, bishop back, g5. That's one way to continue. Rook here, swing it over. 1, 2. That's possible. So that's why knight out the way. Rook there, so dangerous. Rook h3, line it up against the king. Bishop d8, look at the defense. Yuck. He crashes through g5. Now maybe the queen out the way. There, because then you can take. Take g6 though. Look at the major pieces on here. And he's up 20 seconds on the clock. This is over. Take g6, take, and then queen somewhere sensible. Oh my gosh, the queen is trapped. So he gives it up. Knight d6, knight f7, queen down. Queen there's mate. Whoa, what? Oh my gosh. Because if king a2, there was bishop e6 check. And rook g1, it looks so dangerous. It's going to be over very soon. But something really cool happens. Andrew Tang, he manages to come back, which looks impossible from this position. D takes e4, knight takes e4, bad move. Just get on with the attack with take. That would be much better, just opening it up. But Carlsen, he just chose to retake the pawn. After this, it's just totally over. g6, just to block the g-file. Take, take, take. And after bishop f6, you can still go queen g7 check. That's such a cool, flashy move. Queen g7 check, even though you got a bishop here. Because you are using the h-file. Take, take. Check. And then you can go bishop c4 check. Take the queen, game over. Bishop c4 check is really cool actually. Because then it's just mate in 2 moves. You can block with the rook, but it doesn't matter. If you block with the queen, rook h8 is mate. But in the game, knight takes e4 played. I think Carlsen played this because he thought he's just got a lot of time. The attack is just going to crash through anyway. But after knight e5 and take, which looks like a blunder, I mean, how can that move be a blunder? But it is. What a turnaround coming up. After g6, black is the one who is winning. Take. Take. Attacking the queen, then you can take the rook. That's the big difference. Take. Take, take, take. And black is totally winning. What a turnaround. Knight d6, attack the rook. Also coming into f7. So Tang plays rook e7 to stop that. King out the way. Carlsen is running out of fire. And rook e6, Tang, I can't believe it, but he blundered. He needs to guard that square. So one move, just bishop c7. Kick that knight away. Get rid of that attacking piece. You've only got a knight and a queen in the attack. So get rid of that knight on d6 and you're good. But after rook e6, remember this is a 1-minute game. He had 8 seconds in this position. White, Carlsen has 21 seconds. Knight f7 check. Losing the queen, take, take. Bishop f6. Bishop d3. Threatening mate, rook e1 check. And only one move here for white. I cannot believe this. By the way, if you go king a2, this loses. I just can't believe it. But these guys are so sharp. King a2 loses to bishop e6 check. What a complete turnaround. But in this position, knight d1 was played. And that's the big difference. Because after check, king a2, bishop e6 check doesn't work. Because this rook is no longer here. Just by giving up your knight, moving the rook away from the e-file, there is no bishop e6 check to win the queen. What a finish. And white's totally winning here because he's got mate. And he can also take the bishop. What a game. 3-0 to Carlsen. Queen's Gambit accepted just like before. Let's see what happens. Knight c6. Bishop e7. Maybe you take and then castle and b5. Oh, he grabs the pawn. It's pretty risky if you haven't castled yet. He offers a trade. Queen might sit well here because this bishop is... it's not active, so... whoa, so aggressive from Andrew. Now, that pawn is under attack because of this, so he defends the knight. Knight might hop in later. Offer a rook trade because you're winning. Bishop d4. Bishop can sit very well on c6. Also, bishop b5 attacking the queen, so we've got a couple of ideas. Bishop d7, great move. So where are you going to put the bishop? Well, actually, bishop b6 was a threat. That's why you moved the queen out the way. Look at this gorgeous bishop. And here, checkmate. He's in big trouble. Queen h3. But then queen h2? Yeah, but he's winning. So queen puts the queen there instead. Oh, maybe rook d4 coming up. Rook d4 played. Bishop c5 is there. And the pressure might be too much. Rook e8 with e5. Queen h5. Queen h1 is mate. Now queen in. I see. Queen e3 check. Queen f2. He wants to keep the queens on. Because his king is so weak. So I really like this decision. Queen f8. Just in time. Take. Queen. Oh, there must be some entry squares. Here. Boom, boom. Queen e7. Queen e6. Hop. Oh my gosh. Check. King moves. Is that it? Where's the king going? Whoa, bishop e8. I don't understand that at all. Okay, he's got 5 seconds, so let's see what happens. Should be game over, because he should get flagged. But this might be a draw now. h5, yuck, that's ugly. That's so dirty, h5. It might be a draw now. They repeat. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. e4, c6, Caro-Kann from Andrew. Queen a4 check is possible. Knight c3. Bishop c4, queen b3. Defend, maybe d3 actually. You get this pawn chain along with queen b3. 1-2 attack. You might go a4, a5. Rook e1 attacks this. Bishop attacks this. Knight in the middle because it was attacking the bishop. a4, a5. Let's go. Take. Knight d7. Okay. Now, you can take or drop the knight back. h3. Just like that. Because take. Now the knight comes to c5. But this is guarded at the moment. You might play bishop e5 because then you can cash in on d3. See if they play that. Whoa, f6. And then maybe take on d3. Maybe Andrew preferred this change. Rook e7. Whoa. Take because bishop d6 would have won back the exchange. That's absolutely crazy. Now b6 played. Okay, I don't know why b6. Rook a7, couple of rooks. On here, he resigned. Take, rook e7. Crashing through in style. If you take, bishop d6. Queen moves out of the way, and then you can take the rook. Game goes on. White, he's a pawn up. But after rook e7, Tang played knight c4. Queen b4. Still defending the rook. b6. Take. And you can take back with a pawn. But with this move b6, you actually let white in. Queen b6. And what a really cool, flashy finish. Rook takes a7. You don't even need to trade queens. Who cares if your queen is under attack? When you can play rook takes a7, and then you've got double rook mate on the 7th rank. If you take, then check. Check. And check. Very nice mating pattern to remember. d4, knight c6, knight f3, knight f6, c4, e6, and maybe bishop b4. Queen c2, d6. Okay, it's a queen c2 Nimzo-Indian defense. e3, e5 is possible. Knight b8, yeah, because you're going to reroute like this, and there's a knight, there's a pawn there to give yourself that square. Or a4. Bishop d7. Maybe white will play f3, e4, or he might go f4. So, I mean, it's up to white to create a break here. He's got the bishop pair, but can he use it? If he cannot, then, well, no advantage. Now, bishop comes out. He wants e4. Yeah, f4. Rook g3 is possible. Bishop g4, you pin. That's a cool move, f5. Looks like a blunder, actually. No, no, it's just a blunder. He just chucked a pawn, man. f6, bishop g6. Bishop g6. He gets his pawn back now. Oh, but it's opened up. Position has opened up. Chances for both sides, 38 against 20. Bishop h5, offering a trade. 1, 2. But he comes in here. Queen g4, threatening checkmate. Always good. Queen e7, defense. You attack the knight. Queen in here. Knight, queen, still dancing around. Maybe knight comes in. Oh, queen right in. Queen h6. Oh, okay, never mind. Queen d1. Knight h5. 24 seconds against 12. Feel like something is going to drop. Something. Rook f1 is there. Oh. He doesn't take it, okay. Because knight f2, right. 13 seconds against 6. Let's see what happens. Piece down. Lots of pawns down. He might resign. Might flag him. Yeah, game over now. Whoa, look at this cluster. Okay, it's game over. That's it. Flag fest at the end. Knight d7, rerouting. Bishop g4. Activating that bishop. f5. Which was a blunder because after take, he's just down a pawn. But the funny thing is Tang blunders straight back. After f6, he was hoping Carlsen would just take. And then you go bishop f5. And all of White's pieces are just in the attack. But after f6, you just go bishop g6. And the fact is, you can take back with the rook. And now Tang is in trouble. Rook f6, rook f8. 2 rooks on the f-file. Bishop and knight control d3. And this e5 pawn is really annoying, restricting that bishop. Rook g3, queen d8. Bishop h5, pair of bishops come off. But the f pawn drops, take. Queen g4, threatening mate, so you defend it with queen e7. Bishop b4, rook f4, queen h5, knight f6. Attack the queen again. Really cool tactic here. You cannot take, even though it looks like wins a pawn, because you can block the g-file with knight g4 check. Take. In this position. Queen is attacked, but so is the rook. You've got to save your queen. And black has won a rook for a knight. Queen here, offering a trade. No trade. Rook f2. Knight h5, attack the rook. Knight d3. Octopus knight. That knight is perfect. Attacking, defending so much. Knight e4, attack the rook. But knight f4. Cool. Because if you take the rook, then take. You still get forked. Bishop d2. Take the pawn. Come back. Really cool move. Queen attacks the rook, but you can play knight d3 to attack the queen and defend your rook. Gorgeous move, knight d3. Rook e2, attack the queen. And with this move, that knight drops and the game is over. 6-0 to Carlsen. Game 7 was the Owens defense. e4, b6, d4, bishop e7. I covered this game in a lot of detail in another video, so I'm going to attach this as a card to this video in the top right corner. But also, I'm going to mention this at the end. 7-0 to Carlsen. Whoa, Owens defense. Can't play it against Magnus. An incredible finish. We get the Queen's Gambit accepted again. Maybe this is what Carlsen is going for today against Andrew. Early d5. Bishop d7 is possible. Bishop e6. Whoa. I don't like that move because queen b3. Because you couldn't trade queens because bishop e6, queen d1, bishop f7 checks. So I think you can see Magnus, he fought for 5 seconds. I don't think this was the plan. c4 is there. a4 is possible. c4, just to put a question to the chain. Now we get a tempo, and the problem is maybe black has a square to work with. Knight right in the middle. Knight in the middle as well. Queen g4 is there, putting pressure this way. Queen g4, attack this and this. So that might be played. b3, attacking the chain. Queen d7, putting pressure here. So you might take, because take, then rook d3 is possible. e5, take, and we're good. So, but he moves the knight out of the way. 36 against 26. Put the pressure here. Whoa, knight f4. Is that a tactic? That is a tactic. Rook d8. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Check. Boom. Capture fest. But it ends up for black. Game over. Put a bishop on b4. Bishop c. You could push. Bishop c5. Take. And c3. Knight d4, rook d4, game over. Boom. Because you cannot stop the queen. That is something else. Oh my gosh. Carlsen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he's won the last 8. Oh dear. It's not adoption yet. But Tang is going to put a stop to this. Is Andrew Tang, Penguin Man, going to put a stop to this? Pressure on the d-file, and after a takes b5, Carlsen plays a really cool move here. As we saw in the live game, he played knight f4. And it looks like he has tricked Tang. Now, in this game, Tang actually fell for it, because he traded queens in after knight e2 check. He was down a rook for a knight, but there's an amazing way out of this. After knight f4, you can just block on the d-file with queen d2. And if you move out the way with queen c7, because bishop also defends rook, you move out the way with queen. Take, and then we get this endgame. So there was still a way out for white. But knight f4 is just such a flashy move. Now in this position, Carlsen had 35 seconds, Tang had 25. So after knight f4, yeah, he blundered, because after rook takes d7, you throw in knight takes e2, check, an in-between move, the intermezzo. Rook takes d7, take, black is totally winning. Pass pawn, the important thing is this rook cuts off the king from passing the d-file. e5, bishop e7, knight d4, bishop c5. Trading pieces is going to help you. Knight e6, take, and c3 you just push, because after knight d4, very clean finish. That knight stops this pawn moving, so you just get rid of it. How clean is this? Rook d4, game over. Carlsen is up 8-0. Carlsen's rating 3248. We have a Catalan. Let's see what happens. Knight d2, c4, b3, bishop b2, very sensible way to play. I like queen c2 with e4, but he goes e4 straight away. I see. Maybe queen c2 wasn't great because there's a rook here, but it's a different line. Lock up. Lockdown. a3, opening up the a file. Rook a7 though. He's chucked a pawn, but this pawn isn't that big a deal, so I mean, you're a pawn up, but it's not the best pawn in the world. So take, rook a1. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. 44 seconds each. Bishop c2. Good move. But yeah, big advantage to white. You got a pawn now. You're going to push it. Bishop a4 was needed. b5. Oh, gosh. You might go b6. But then this bishop. How can that get in the game? So I don't know if I love b6. Even though you get a protected pass pawn. Carlsen plays it and drops his bishop back. Now the knight attacks this. Now f4. Secure the square. e5. Opening a... creating a break because take. Take. So bishop out. You're going to take this. Right, knight coming into e4. Is that dangerous? No, because knight e4. But knight e5 attacking this. Take. Bishop d6. Also b7. How do you stop b7? Game over. He might resign. b7. How do you stop the queen? Is that game over for Andrew? And it's 9-0 at the moment. Is this going to be an adoption? Rematch? Will that offer be sent? Or is it 10-9? It's 9-0, man. That's painful for Andrew. It's 9-0. Yep. So if it's 10-0, this is something called adoption. We got a London system, but it's a Caro-Kann now. It's a Caro-Kann. Bishop here faces king, but so you tend to do this. You drop the bishop back just to compete against that. So you might take, and you might go knight d7. He drops the bishop back to f1, I see. b5 is possible, so he stops it. Knight coming in. Bishop d6, offering trades. Trades is fine. Take, h6. No attack for white, but black has some minority option, b4. And then also knight b6, knight c4. But there's knight coming to e5, so he can't do that. Rook b8 first. Okay, he takes, and he probably goes b4. And you might take, okay. Oh, rook c4, finding a cool way to change. Yeah, nice. It's not so bad now for white. Queen f4. Wow, really cool way for him to just get rid of it. Bishop g6, knight e2 check was there. Tricky. Queen c3, offering a trade. 30 seconds each. f6, kick it away. Take. 3 pawns each. Andrew should not lose this, or else it is 10-0. Knight d6. King g7, right. 2 pawns each. This should be a draw most of the time, but it's a bullet game, so anything can happen. F4 check. If king g6, bishop d3, so knight f6, and now get that pawn off, and it is a draw. So there should be a way for that to happen. Check. Knight g3 is there. G3. Oh, that's a cool move. Oh, dirty. Carlsen's such a dirty player. What a dirty player. Because he wants to win 10-0. Yeah, come on, man. That's a joke, right? Maybe Carlsen wanted to win because it was 10-0. Now it's 9.5 half for the last 10 games. So no adoption today. They might play again, or Carlsen might have had enough. So Carlsen, he almost did it. Not adoption, not 10-0, but the next best thing. 9.5 to a half. By the way, here's YouTube's suggestion for what to watch next. But if you don't like their option, you might like what I suggested back in Game 7. This is Carlsen against Tang in the Owens defense. It's a wonderful attacking game. However, if you don't like that option, you might like another one. Magnus Carlsen wins in 39 seconds. Thanks for watching.